It's gonna be a hard one, I think, you guys. What a day. So where do I even begin? Today I went to play tennis this morning with a friend of mine. I had a lesson actually, and I really didn't play much. I was tired because I'd worked out a lot this week, and just had a lot on my mind lately, and just felt like I'm just tired. And so I kind of sat the lesson out mostly. Ended up laying in like a bed of grass and clovers and flowers under this beautiful almond tree and just relaxing because I listened to my body, and that's what I needed to do. And that felt really good. And then when the lesson was over, I was coming back to town with my friend. And hi everybody. And we stopped to have lunch. And I was talking about some of the stuff that's been going on with me lately. I've been doing a lot of like really inner work and everything. And anyway, finished lunch. And we're driving back into town from where we were, a little bit outside of town. And my friend was driving, so I was just observing the road. And all of a sudden, I saw this person on a four-wheel kind of veer out of their lane, like coming toward us. And then like, lose control, basically, and crash into a tree. And I saw his body flip off the four-wheel and lie there. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I said to my friend, like, stop the car, stop the car. Stop the car. And so she stopped the car. We got out. And he was laying there, like face down, basically in the gutter on the side of the road. Like, oh my God, like, what do you do, right? And there's some other people there, and it turns out some friends of his that he was with were also there. And, it's just like panic in those moments, like, what do you do? And so somebody, I don't know who, I guess some people were calling for the ambulance and everything, and I think some of his friends were trying to turn him so that he wouldn't be face down, he was literally in the gutter. I know they were concerned, I know they were trying to help, but I kept screaming, like, don't move him, don't move him, don't move him, because if you don't know, in an accident, like, you don't ever move anybody, because if they have a broken bone or they have internal bleeding, you just don't know, and you can make it worse. Even though you're trying to do good, you could make it a lot worse. And so I was like, God, just please don't move him. And he was bleeding from his head, and it was just not good. And anyway, so it was like crazy panic scene. And at some point, I don't know who this man was, but he gave me his phone, and I could see 911. He's like, talk to the ambulance, tell them where we are, tell them, whatever. So I'm like, okay, we were here, and that's what happened. And the man's asking me, what's the guy's name? And I went to ask this man, I was like, what's your name? He told me Francisco. So I told him what his name was. And then they asked me again, how old is he? And I said, how old are you? He didn't answer. I said again, how old are you? And his friend said, he's 37. I said, he's 37. I stepped away at that point. I said, his friend tells me he's 37, but the guy who fell off, who had the accident, isn't, he didn't answer. I don't know if he doesn't know. It's clearly he's got to be in shock. He has a concussion, whatever. Like, he can't answer. And so, anyway, I talked to them some more about, where we were and hurry up. He has bad injuries. How soon can you get here? As soon as we can. It's like, okay, what does that mean? And then of course people are gathering, cars slow down to look and pass by. It's just a one-way street, and one lane in each direction. Police come. We're told later on that the police can't actually get involved in terms of trying to help somebody and lift them into the truck or something to take them to the hospital because there's liability involved. Whatever. I won't comment on that right now, but anyway, so it was easily 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I don't know, before an ambulance got there. and there's actually, excuse me, the Dominican Red Cross that came, and you know, it's during that time his friends did actually turn him over on his back because apparently he was saying, I can't breathe, and he was very heavy, and so it could have been that just the way he was laying, the weight of him, you know, made it hard for him to breathe, or just his injuries. I don't, you know, who knows. They were able to turn him over, and you know, they were talking to him, and you know, I mean, I wasn't sitting, I, you know, wasn't like listening to everything. I didn't want to be intrusive or in the space. You know, you need to give people room and let them breathe. And and I don't want to talk about his injuries in case any of his family ever sees this, because you know, I don't think that would be fair or kind or appropriate. But you know, he needed attention for sure. Anyway, they finally got there, and before, I don't even remember if it was before the ambulance left or not, but anyway, one of his friends came to me and he said, you know, can you give me your number, you know, just to let you know kind of what happened. And I said, sure. So I gave him my number. I told him my name. I don't even know what this guy's name was. And I talked to a few of other of his friends. I guess it was like a group of guys. I'm pretty sure they came down from New York, Dominicans, you know, they call them. One guy had on a t-shirt that said Bronx, so I'm assuming that. I don't really know. But, you know, one thing I heard Francisco say when I was kind of talking, he's like, somebody call my wife, you know? And so I don't know if he has kids or I don't know. But in any event, I came home and my stomach was just upset all day long, like for hours. I just was like out of it and just like that churning feeling. And I just looked at my phone a few minutes ago, and I was looking for a text message from someone else, I think, and happened to look at it, and there was a message from his friend, from the guy at the accident, who asked me for my number. And he said, hey, Kelly, just want to let you know, our friend didn't make it. And I looked at the time, and it was like maybe an hour or so after we were there. He said he didn't make it, and he's like, I just want to thank you for, you know, for being there and for staying with him. And for trying to help. And so, this is not about me. I don't want to make this about me at all. Obviously, it was horrible news to hear that. And I can't imagine, you know, I mean, if I'm upset, imagine, you know what I mean? Like, his friends, and then having to call home and just everything. I don't know if he had children, and just, you know, you come on a vacation. And I will say this to you guys, I have another message too, but please, when you come on vacation, don't just go crazy. My girlfriend and I were talking about that on the way home. It's like, yeah, people come and it's like, woohoo, have a good time. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not suggesting that. I don't know exactly what led to the accident, but most people here don't wear helmets. You know, sometimes people get excited and they go too fast, or they're drinking, or, you know, you hear about this from time to time. I'm surprised, frankly, that there aren't more accidents that happen. But this was, you know, like shocking and awful. And, you know, to realize that you were to be with someone moments before they die, you know, and not, anyway. Oh my gosh. So, but it made me think. It made me think that I wish I'd said more to him. I wish I'd said, like, hey, yeah, do you have kids? Your wife? Really? You want to call your wife? I know your wife loves you. You know, I'm sure she does. And just think of her, you know, just saying something to comfort him. Like, hey, I love you. I don't even know you, but I really care about you. We're here with you. Your friends are here. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't really my place because I didn't know this man and he did have friends there, but I'm just saying, like, it's so important. It's so important to be kind, number one, and to tell people that you love them in pretty much any circumstance. And I know that sounds really broad and maybe even crazy, because there's sometimes when people do things, the last thing you want to do is love them or tell them that you love them because they hurt you or because they feel, maybe they're being obnoxious, or because whatever. But everybody needs to know that they're loved. Sometimes, most especially the ones who are being a pain in the butt. Obviously someone in a horrible situation needs to feel comfort. No, hi Renee, I see your message. I'm not blaming myself. I don't feel responsible, but it made me realize something. I'll tell you why. So there's something, I don't know how many of you guys are into or open to like ideas of energy and vibration, and the fact that this is a vibrational universe that we live in, and that we are connected that way, just like with the plants, and everything gives off different signals or frequencies, right? Just like radio waves. Every living thing rocks have frequencies, right? I mean, it's scientifically proven. This is not some like hocus pocus stuff. It just is, right? That's what an EKG is. You listen to your heartbeat, and there's waves. And why did I even go into that? Oh, so there's a woman in town who's been offering, I guess, like, what we call them, classes, like sessions in quantum healing. Don't ask me to explain it. I can't explain it. But essentially it has to do with energy and creating or opening up a certain kind of energy that taps into us all and us to experience some level of healing. I don't know how electricity works, so I can't explain that to you. I can't explain a car engine, but I know they work. So I've been going to these sessions. They're donation based, offer donation. It's almost like a meditation thing, except, we are just like laying on yoga mats. And for me, it's just been like deeply relaxing, feels really good. I'd go like, I don't know if anything happened. I don't feel anything. I'm just feeling relaxed, but I like it. So I've been going now for a few times, maybe a month or so. It's once a week. 4 or 5 times. I've been 6 maybe. And then I started noticing, like, whoa, this thing appeared in my life, or this experience happened, or I had a difficult time with, relating to somebody, or something was on my nerves. Just stuff was starting to get shaken up. And one of the things this woman talks about, her name is Alara. Hi, Alara, if you're watching. One of the things she talks about is, I miss a lot of things, but basically she said at one point, people you love them, tell them you love them. I was talking to her one day and I was like, but I'm afraid to, like, what if they don't say it back? What if, like, you don't want to be out there, right? She's like, doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is that everybody we come into contact with, whether it's someone close to you or whatever, they reflect, it's like a mirror, right? So if you're having an experience with somebody, whether it's like a loved one or someone in who's selling you a shirt, and you think they're rude, you don't like the way they're talking to you, or you think whatever, and it agitates you, there's some response that we have to that, right? And it's an opportunity for us to see, okay, what is it about this person? What is it about this experience? What do I need to see here? Am I normally impatient, for example, in different situations? How have I let myself down? Whatever. And so this whole thing today, I know it may sound like, what is she even talking about? But I promise you there's a connection. This thing today with Francisco, when I got the message from his friend that he didn't survive, like I said, made me think about, gosh, I wish I had said something to him. Not like pouring out my heart, I love you, you know what I mean? Not like romantic love, but just like human kind, like we're here for you, we love you, we're, people are with you, we're sending you good energy, just something like that. And no, I don't feel like, oh, I messed up, but I'm saying it lets me know now to do it, care about and, have affection for. And I have not told him, I love him. I'm like, I'm not saying that, But on the other hand, why am I not saying that? So I don't know. That's a sidebar. That's another topic. But the point is, but I will say this. But in that regard, there's been some, like I said, some confusion about, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? And, and sometimes when you get into a situation with people, there may be a misunderstanding, or you get confused about something, or somebody's feelings get hurt, or whatever, or somebody else said something and then you heard it, and then this and that, all these different things. And posturing begins, and people make assumptions, or we don't want to get hurt, so we start like closing ourselves off, which leads to what? Like, how does that help anything? Instead of going ahead and being open and saying whatever it is you have to say, hey, you know what? When that happened, whatever your experience was, I didn't like it. It made me afraid. It made me angry. It made me feel hurt. It brought up feelings in myself about when this happened to me as a child, or, my best friend lied to me when I was da so I didn't have trust. I mean, whatever it is, I don't know. I was fearful. Like, for example, I have someone I know from a long time ago told me, and this was always like doing these different business ideas, and like always had something going, and like always had a man in her life. Like it was like back to back boyfriends all the time. And I was like, damn, how is, like, what is that, And in terms of the business thing, she was like, hi, Morena. The business thing, she's like, she called it bag lady syndrome. She's like, well, I was raised, without much, and not having security that we would, be okay. And my mom she was the product of her mother being the other woman to this man, to a married man. And so her mother was not really stable in her life for various reasons. And my friend felt that. And so she's like, I swore I would never, ever, ever be in a situation where I had to wonder about my own security. And so she was like always in overdrive, producing and earning money and having this business and that. It's just like with the men, back to back, always somebody in her life. So there's always, for her, sort of a sense of security, but not really, because it was false, right? It was like, in fact, she ended up working herself so hard that she ended up in the hospital. She had problems with her liver, and she had problems with, hi everybody, I see you guys all checking in and saying hi. Because she didn't deal with, I guess in some ways, the root of what was happening, it came up in other ways, and it made her physically ill. Now she's better, and she's got a man in her life now, a longtime love that she's, they're in a great space, and things are okay. But she had to do a lot of work, and she had to, I shouldn't say she had to, but she chose to really not run from that anymore, and face the things that were hard to face, and feel the feelings that usually we're like, I don't want to feel that. That's going to make me cry. That's going to make me feel vulnerable. That's going to make me feel afraid. That's going to put me in, looking stupid or something. And so we close that off. We turn away. We posture. We act like, I don't care, whatever. Oh, well, I'll do this. You do that. I'm going to do that. Instead of going, you know what? I'm not okay right now. And I would like to talk to you about this, or I need to, or just like cry about it or whatever, but like feeling it and letting it be. Because the thing is, I mentioned this before, it's like the feelings we want to have, like the good feelings and the love and the happiness and laughter and all that fluffy stuff, doesn't exist by itself. It can't be happy if you don't have sad to compare it to, right? Like if it's only one thing, there's only ever blue, there's only ever a blue sky, how do we know what like a gray sky looks like, right? There has to be some contrast. But, it's like, and I guess I talked about this one thing, like the video about Let It Rain, or the rain video recently. It's like, you have to, I shouldn't say have to, but to not acknowledge the other side, the not sunny side, the not happy side, the side that's not always confident, the side that doesn't always have it together, the side that fucks up sometimes, publicly sometimes, or in whatever way, and you feel embarrassed by it, or you feel like, I thought I was over that, or I can't believe someone saw me do this, or whatever it is. It's kind of like, so what? So what that happened? That's called being human. That's called being real, because everybody messes up. And, if we are expecting to be always having it together, that's a high expectation. And you can expect that sooner or later, yourself, in one way or another, is going to give out. Like, fuck that. I'm not always perfect. And so now I'm going to have a nervous breakdown to show you. Or I'm going to end up in the hospital with, a disease or a disorder. Or now my relationship's going to fall apart. Or my finances are out of control. Or I'm drinking too much. Give way. If we don't allow ourselves to have that type of leeway along the way, it's like Yeah, we're human. I saw that. We are human. But sometimes we don't treat each other, we don't treat ourselves like that. We don't treat other people like that. Like, oh, well, this person messed up, so not dealing with them anymore. Okay, well, how about this? Let's cross off everybody off the list of people that we're currently dealing with who has messed up in some way, including yourself. Who's left? Who's left? And so that means, yeah. And okay, let me just say this. Maybe it's just me feeling this right now. And it could be because, like I said, I've been going to my quantum healing sessions and doing a lot of different things. I'm trying to really focus on, like, I feel in general pretty damn together in my life. I really do. But I'm going for the way, what else is in there? Haven't I excavated? What else is left? Right? Going all the way in. And when you do that, be careful because things come up. I told you guys back in, when was it? Maybe November, I think I did ayahuasca. November, December, something like that. And how that was like amazing because it showed me certain things and all that. So, you know, yeah, it's like we can either choose people, or sorry, accept people as they are with all their foibles and the fact that they're going to mess up sometimes, they're going to piss us off sometimes, or we're going to be the ones to screw up and like have to suck it up and be like, yep, I did that. Oh my God. I feel stupid. I feel embarrassed. I feel whatever, you know. Or just focus on what's not okay and then be stuck there. So I'm for the sometimes. I mean, it's not crazy. It's life. It's the way things happen. But I guess it's like, so here's the thing about being in paradise. Glad you brought that up. I've been speaking to some friends recently about, and these are people who are here recently, have recently moved here, like in the past few months. And I've been here, as a lot of you know, for a few years. And what I noticed initially upon moving here is that, the first thing is like relief, like, oh my God, you wake up and it's just beautiful outside, you know? I mean, look at this. This is, what are we in that, late afternoon? That's one of my cats, right? And it's just beauty. There's just beauty everywhere for no damn reason. It's just always beautiful, right? Even a bad day is a good day because it's beautiful. You walk by the beach, it's just lovely. The food tastes good all the time. You know what I mean? People are beautiful. It's just great. And so what happens is that you begin to like just release, like your breathing changes, you maybe sleep better, you know, you can look better. I know I definitely have changed like physically since I've been here. I actually gained some weight recently, but anyway, in general, I've lost weight. You know, there's like a glow about you. It's like the external stuff that's falling off. You know, your finances get better because it's not so expensive. You know, you're kind of open up and you meet these really cool people and they're loving, and anyway, all of that. That's the superficial level. And then after a time, if you're here for an extended period, you may notice, as I am recently noticing, that, and if you choose to, this is a matter of personal choice. Like everyone doesn't want to pay this close of attention to themselves, but I'm all about like personal development and improving your life and how good can it get, right? So recently I've been noticing, because I've been poking around and trying to make my life even better, that now I'm at another level. Now it's all internal, right? So you may not see the change externally, but there's certainly stuff happening inside. And you know, it's not always fun to improve yourself. It's not always fun. I find that it's worthwhile, but going through the process sucks. It sucks. It's like going on a diet. No, but I want to eat that cake, right? I want to eat that. Well, do you want what's on the other side of the cake? I do. I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever, right? I don't want to quit smoking because I've been smoking since I was a teenager and it makes me feel calm, or I don't eat as much, right? They say when you smoke cigarettes, your appetite is suppressed. Okay, but do you want to have your appetite suppressed, or do you want to risk, you know, lungs, whatever? I know, my cat, no, there's a ledge over there. They do that all the time. She did just jump over. But you see what I'm saying? It's like the choices that we make. And so some of the stuff I've been like looking at, it's like, oh wow, is that a thing? I thought I did, you know, whatever, just different things you notice. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And choosing to just feel the feelings instead of going, I don't want to deal with that. Let's just go out and let's have some drinks. Let's have a good time. Or I'm going to read this book instead. Or let me call my friend I haven't talked to in a while. You know what I mean? It's like, no, stop distracting yourself with the devices and the apps and the work and the whatever your choice is, your drug of choice, right? So to speak. And feel, right? Like some people tell me, Kelly, you're in your head all the time. You're always in your head. Partly because of what I do. My work is very analytical. You know, I'm client focused, always like giving out, giving, giving. And it's like, why am I always giving and how? Then I feel depleted. So let me check that out. And so there's just a lot of things. And by the way, I share a lot with you guys. Like all the stuff I'm telling you, I'm sharing it because, one, I don't mind, but also I'm hoping that someone else out there is like, like it rings a bell or it helps, because this is pretty real stuff I'm talking to you guys about, you know? I lost my train of thought. That's what happens when I get so real. What was I saying? Basically just, you know, so when you go, you decide to start really looking at your stuff, of course it's uncomfortable. You know, you get called out on like, you know what, you are habitually late and what's up with that? Or you, I don't know, someone could be a chronic liar. Why are you lying? Or, you know, you're an overeater. Why are you an overeater? What's that really about, right? Why do you have commitment problems? How come, you know, whatever it is, why do you smoke so much? I mean, you guys know the different things. Those are symptoms. So what's underneath that? And the thing is, then you have to like just sit with that, like, okay, in your body. Like today I came home after that accident and I was just a wreck. My stomach was all doing flips and stuff. And I was like, okay, what does my body need, right? And I was like, or how do I feel? And I was like, I just feel not well. Not all the way nauseous, but a little bit nauseous, right? Like I just feel like I need to lay here and just be still. Just like when I was at the tennis court this morning, I was like, how do I feel? And I'm like, I feel tired. So I took my tennis racket and my stuff and I went and I lay in the grass and just watched the trees and the clouds, and that was perfect for me. I didn't feel like, okay, I need to come on, power through this lesson, come on, get it in there, you paid for whatever. No, it's more important for me to just honor myself. And honoring yourself doesn't always mean it's gonna be like wonderful and a warm cup of tea. No, sometimes that means honoring yourself means look at your shit and deal with it and acknowledge it, and maybe, yeah, go out on a limb and tell somebody, yeah, I did do that and it was not okay, you know, or you did something and it made me feel a way, and maybe I'm embarrassed to tell you it made me feel a way, but here's the truth. And then you can deal from the truth instead of continuously dealing from some fake shit. Well, I don't care. I'm not gonna let him see me like that, and I'm not gonna let her see me like that, and I'm not gonna, it's like, okay, so then where does that get us? So, I think that's basically it, you guys. I mean, this thing, when I saw the message about Francisco, God rest his soul, it just hit me. I was like, oh my God. And I instantly thought about this woman, Alada, and her teachings about tell the people you love them, tell them, just say it. It's not always like this romantic, deep, oh, I love you, and all this like suddenly pressure and crazy. No, but it's like, I love you. You know why? Because you are showing me me. You are showing up as me. The way I see you is through my own filter, right? I can see you as a really cool person and fun to be around and responsible and respectful, and somebody else can see that same person as a liar and, oh no, they're lazy, and you know what I mean? So we see each other through our own filters, like how am I coming to this experience? How am I coming to this experience? It could be like in this day, am I coming to it because I didn't have enough sleep? Am I coming to it when I'm hungry? Am I coming to it because I had some bad stuff in my past? So I'm looking at, let's say, like a relationship through okay, well, the last guy did this to me, so I'm already looking at you sideways, right? Or is someone coming to it from a totally different position of being, you know, feeling safe and happy, and, you know, right? So perception is a powerful thing. Just because we see something in a way doesn't mean it's that way. Just because you have an opinion about an experience or a person or whatever doesn't make it completely right. That's your opinion about something. And even if you are right, even if let's say someone, you know, hurts you in some way, they dropped the ball and you were expecting something and they didn't do it, and now, you know, your day's messed up, or you were counting on it and you lost money. You love me, Macaroni? Thank you, Macaroni. I love you too. You know what I mean? I know, it's time to put Kelly first. Yeah, so you'll probably be seeing a lot less videos, by the way. A lot fewer. But the point is, what was I saying about so it's all our own filter, right? If your parents were happily married for your whole life, and you always had lots of food on the table and everything was great, you may not have scarcity, like, okay, being worried, like my friend was, who had what she called bag lady syndrome, and she was always having all these different jobs and ideas and things she was cranking out to make sure she was going to be okay, and it ended up, of course, backfiring because she didn't take care of herself. So just be aware. It's just about awareness. Like, notice the next time you feel agitated, or even if it's a good thing, if you feel really happy, okay, that's good, but just kind of like temper that. So at least that's what I'm learning. That's where I am. I'm sharing my lessons with you because this is what's happening for me right now. And I think it's really, really valuable. And who knew that this lesson about tell people you love them was going to come up in this way with this poor man Francisco today? I wouldn't have thought to tell this around who's had this horrible accident, I love you. And maybe not even those exact words, but you hear what I'm saying, like just some caring and something to offer people. And even, yes, even when it makes you feel like, well, that's gonna make me look stupid, or I don't want to tell her that because then she's gonna think I'm a simp. Is that the word now? Or no, she tried to get over on me and blah, blah, blah. This person lied to me or whatever. And so, no, I'm not going to, and you're stuck in that. Okay, well, you can be stuck, or you can, say what you have to say and get on with it. And maybe, maybe that job won't work out, or maybe that relationship won't work out, or maybe, whatever, it's not going to be the way you would like for it to be. But at least you've done it in an authentic way. It's not like you leave it and your stuff is hanging and it's messy, or you're wondering. At least you can say, you know what, well, I did what I could do in that situation. I offered someone some kindness, I offered someone some honesty and some truth, and everybody's not ready to receive that. So that's okay. And then you get to make the decision, all right, well, on my way. Some people will meet you there though. And you know what? Cool, I'm so glad you said that because I was feeling away too. And then you get to have a real conversation. But until somebody's willing to break open, like in these quantum healing sessions, she's always like, open your heart more, open your heart more. And I used to wonder, like, well, what does that mean? Like, I feel open, I'm open, But I think it's like in those times when we do feel scared and we do feel whatever, pissed off or disappointed or whatever it is, embarrassed or something, that's when we want to close up and not show it. But that's the time actually to do the reverse, because that's where, like, and she talks about like healing of humanity, right? I mean, you heal yourself, another person can get healed in whatever way, but all of us, right? Everybody. I mean, so I've talked about this before. I like to look at it as molecules. So if I'm one molecule, and let's say I have a stone in my heart, I'm sad about something, or I'm hurt, or I'm angry, or whatever, and I'm walking around like this, every person I bump into or interact with is feeling a piece of that, because I'm not coming off as 100%, of the love molecule that I could be. I'm maybe 70% or 50% because I got this thing, this chip on my shoulder. So the more I can release that, the more I can become, 80, 90%, let's say, of the good stuff. And then whoever I interact with gets that part of me. Likewise, I bump into somebody at 50%, they're getting that and they're like, ugh, well, I don't like that. And so then they take their little nasty mood and they go on to the next person and the next person, right? So it's going to take somebody, right? Who's going to be the first one to say, okay, I'm willing to be the guinea pig, the vulnerable one, the one who, so to speak, takes the bullet, obviously not a real bullet, right? But is willing to expose myself and be like, I really didn't like that. That really hurt me, or I was afraid, or I'm sorry, or, whatever it is. And then you get to be free of that. Then you go from feeling 30, 40, 50%, that bad feeling, to, that's off of me now. And maybe there's multiple things, because once you take one thing out, don't be surprised if another one pops up, like, damn, now there's this to deal with? Yep, probably so. But guess what? You're getting them out. And the more you get stuff out, the more you free up other people. Remember, we're mirrors, right? So you free up someone else to see what they can let go of and what they can let go of. And then we start bumping into each other from a whole different place. And it's a whole lot of love that goes around, instead of hurt and anger and fear and disappointment and grief and you name it, right? Family, it can be a tough one, right? If you had long-standing family issues, if you were told something bad about yourself when you were growing up, you're never going to be this, or you're too this, or you're too that, or, we don't have enough in our family for you to do these things. That's just like layers and layers and layers. So begin to peel back your own onion and feel that. Feel like, yeah, men too, it's okay. Like, cry that shit out. You don't have to go publicly and like blah in the middle of every place. But maybe you do have a male group of friends or support people that you can say, damn, this shit really hurts. And as a man, it feels weird to like be in touch with this. And I feel hella vulnerable right now, like telling you this even, you know? And maybe you don't need to go with a group of people. Maybe that happens later. Maybe you just go by yourself at some point. But the point is, find a way to just open your heart more. Okay? I know most of you men won't do that. I see that, and that's why. But then look at the state of affairs. Forgiveness is not all the time for the other person. It's for you. Exactly. When you let the other person off the hook, you then, it's like, okay, you get to be free, right? So I had an experience recently with somebody who let me down, and I was pretty annoyed by it. I was like, you know, I expected this, and that's what you said, and so I expected it. Didn't happen. And I didn't really like the excuse. I was like, well, that's basically bullshit. Maybe it wasn't, but it felt like it at the time. And then I was like, okay, well, you just want to rest on that, Kelly, and just continue to be pissed? Because being pissed about it isn't going to change it. Like, it happened. So you get to choose now. And I was like, whatever. I'd rather see him and spend time than be stuck in I'm still mad. And I did, and it was great. And so I'm telling you. So men, open your hearts more. Ladies, open your hearts more. Everybody. Yeah, whew. And if we could all send a collective prayer to Francisco and his family and his friends and just wish them some peace, because it's a tough day. Apparently his wife was back at home in the States. I'm assuming New York, but you can only imagine, right? To send your husband off on a vacation and then 2 days later you get a phone call like that. So I don't know who they are. I don't know anybody's names other than his, but I sure do wish them a whole lot of peace. And just take care of yourselves, you guys. Like, from the most kind of mundane things, like put on a helmet, put on your seatbelt, you know, try to eat well, don't overdo it when you're having a good time, get your rest, take care of your body, those kinds of things, to like hug somebody. You see somebody struggling, give them a hug. Hey, I love you. Can I help you out? You know, someone's stumbling in the street. You okay? What do you need? You know? You don't have to save a life in that way. You're not responsible for like, let me fix their whole life, but you are responsible for being kind. We are, you know, brother's keeper type thing, right? So that's it. Thank you for letting me get that out, because I was a mess when I just got this message a few minutes ago about him. I love you. Thank you for sending me love back, even if I never hear it. Thank you. And gosh, you guys, yeah, take care. Have a good day. I'm gonna drink my water and just like chill.